Okay, yes. So it looks like we are recording um, as a live stream that I'm actually doing in advance. This is a pre-record, and I'm doing it as a pre-record because I have a lot going on right now. I'm headed out of the country. Um, the next day, whatever, whenever you watch this, it was the next day. I'm heading out of the country, and I just needed to make sure that I did what I said I was going to do, which was, kind of have a live stream out there and, you know, talk about the do our second session on the iconic upgrade. And today's session is about elevate. It's about elevating, right? It's about rising to the occasion, to the opportunity. And I know a lot of us, we're a little weary. We're a little tired. Take your rest, do what you need to do. And for whenever it becomes, whenever you're ready, um, it's going to be time for you to rise to the opportunity and whatever looks like for you. So let me tell you about how it looked like for me. Let me tell you a little bit about that. So if you don't know, I am a flat out corporate girl of 20 something years. I worked in corporate space. I was an HR professional, and I had the opportunity. Okay, let me go back just a little bit. So I worked for an urban research park in Philadelphia. It was the nation's first urban research park. Something very similar to what a lot of people know as like the research triangle in North Carolina. Well, Philadelphia had one. It started, I can't remember when, but it was probably, I don't know. I think it was in the 60s when it started, I want to say. Um, but I worked there for 12 years in HR. I was in human resources. I worked there for 12 years. We had about, roughly at any given moment, we had about 200 or so employees. Okay. So that's relatively like small to maybe medium. Um, and after 12 years, I was finally like, okay, I I want to do more. There is more. There is more opportunity for me. I'm telling you, I was on my corporate thing. I had a plan in place. I wanted to be a senior VP in HR. All the things, all the things. So finally, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make the move. So I went on a couple interviews, not a whole lot, and I landed a position with a $5 billion Fortune 500 company that had 30,000 employees locally or in the states and around the world. So I went from this 200 employee company I've been in for 12 years to a $5 billion Fortune 500 global company with 30,000 plus employees. Now, that right there, in the middle of that, like in between that, I had to learn. I had to elevate. I had to elevate my mindset. I had to elevate my actions. I had to elevate my own vision for myself and my life. I had to elevate my belief in myself. If you've been following, you know I've been talking a lot about believing in yourself because there is a lot of power that comes when you believe in yourself, in your ability, in your capability, in your knowledge, your skill, your experiences, especially if you are a midlife, multi gifted, multi talented, multifaceted woman. That's who I want to come to the front of the room. Come to the front of the room. Come to the front of the room. My multi-gifted, multi-talented, multifaceted, multi-passionate midlife women. Come to the front of the room because I really want to talk to you. I really, really want to have a conversation with you because this is your time. It is time for you to do the things that you've been wanting to do. It's your time to elevate. To elevate. So that's what we're going to talk about. And we're going to start it off. You know, I always like to start it off with some word, right? And I've been using my personalized text Bible, and it's called the Personal Promise Bible. It is one of my favorite wedding gifts I received 16 years ago. All right, so we're going to do Isaiah 40:31. Isaiah 40:31. So if you're taking notes, it's Isaiah 40:31. And again, I'm reading from my personalized Bible. So wherever I say my name, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to write out the scripture as I'm reading it. And wherever I say my name, I want you to write your name. Because that's when the word comes alive and it becomes personal for you. That way, when you decree and declare a thing, right, you already have your name in there. All right. So let's read it. So again, Isaiah 40:31, and I'm reading from my Personal Promise Bible. But if Cheryl waits upon the Lord, she shall renew her strength. Cheryl shall mount up with wings as an eagle. She shall run and not be weary. She shall walk and not faint. That's a timely word. We know for certain, for sure, that is a timely word. I'm going to read it one more time. But if Cheryl waits upon the Lord, she shall renew her strength. She shall mount up with wings as an eagle. She shall run and not be weary. She shall walk and not faint. Now, another way you can say this as a declaration, you can say, but if I wait upon the Lord, I shall renew my strength. I shall mount up with wings as an eagle. I shall run and not be weary, and I shall walk and not faint. Yeah, that's a good place. That's a good place to start by decreeing and declaring a thing because it is so. So I started off by telling you, this story about me and me being in corporate America and how I reached a time in my career after 12 years that I decided I needed to elevate. I needed to rise to my purpose and to my potential. But the part I didn't tell you was in the midst of that elevating and rising to my purpose and to my potential, I was going through a divorce. Yep, that's right. I was going through a divorce in the midst of elevating and rising to my purpose and my potential. And I literally had to rise above the noise. I had to elevate above my circumstances so that I could walk in my purpose and potential as it related to my career. So, yeah. So, what about you? What about you? What about you right now in this moment, in this season? What do you want to rise to? What do you want to elevate to? What is it that you have? What vision What vision of more do you have for yourself? Right? Right? So just like I discovered that I needed to rise and to elevate to fulfill my purpose, so do you. So do you. You want to experience success in the marketplace? If you want to experience success in your business, in your life, it's time to elevate. Elevate now, right? Elevate now. Okay, so we did the scripture, which was Isaiah 40:31. All right. And in that, it refers to an eagle soaring. It refers to an eagle soaring. Soar like an eagle. And you know, eagles fly high, 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 high above. They get a bird's eye view, a real bird's eye view of things. They can see and spot out things that not people, that's not what I wanted to say. They can see and spot out things that anything below them possibly can't see. And yeah, people, we can't always see things that are happening, right? So we need to get a higher perspective, a higher perspective. And that requires you to what? Elevate. So there are three things. There are three things that I want you to look at elevating. And the first thing is elevate your vision. Elevate the vision you have for your life. Okay? You want to elevate your vision so you can see the full range, the full scope of what's possible. Of what's possible for you, what's possible for your life, your family, for your loved ones, to see what's possible. But you know what I want you to focus on? I want you to focus on seeing what's possible for you. Because when you elevate, there are going to be people that are going to elevate with you. And there are going to be some people that won't. Okay? There are going to be some people that won't. And I don't like to focus on the people that won't, because at any given moment, the people that won't will in the future. I've seen it happen. At any given moment, the people that won't today will in the future. So I don't like to focus on the people who aren't right now. The people that will elevate with you will elevate with you. Okay? So here's what I want you to upgrade your vision. We're talking about the iconic upgrade, right? We're talking about the iconic upgrade, and we're talking about elevate the vision. So I want you to upgrade your vision. I want you to see yourself at the highest level of success. And I want you to see this vision every day. That no matter what's going on in your present circumstances, in your current circumstances, you are visualizing, you are seeing yourself in an upgraded vision. What does that upgraded vision look like? What does that elevated vision look like? Where are you living? What are you doing day to day? Who are the people you're meeting? Who are the clients you're working with? What kind of money are you making? I want you to elevate the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. I want you to elevate it. I want you to see beyond any place where you are currently. I want you to have the vision of an eagle. My dear, she's been a mentor of mine for a very long time, and but she is amazing. LaFern Batty. LaFern says, she talks about eagles and she talks about soaring. Get the vision of an eagle, right? So you can have a vision of what's ahead, so you can see the possibilities. Nobody's saying you got to know how you're going to get there. Nobody's saying that you know every step that needs to be taken, because here's what I know. Once we have the vision and we start to move forward, things begin to happen. And the things that you thought you needed to get where you wanted to go, to actualize and realize the vision, you didn't even have to do. You didn't even have to do. You know, I earlier when we first started, I said this is a pre-recorded live stream, and it's pre-recorded because I'm heading out of the country tomorrow or the next day, whenever you're watching this, the very next day, first thing, first flight, I'm heading out of the country. When I was younger, when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, I had a vision. I had no idea how it was going to happen. And my vision was to travel the world. My vision was to see the world. And my children remember this. My children now, they're in their, well, I ain't gonna say their ages, but they are where they are. They ain't teenagers, okay? And they remember me having a list of places that I wanted to go to visit in the world. Now, when I look back, my list was limited. Even with the vision I had, it was limited because I didn't understand or realize back then the possibilities, the potential of the vision, and how the vision elevated on its own. I have been to places that were not even on that list. And the place I'm heading to is another one of those places. Now, you're gonna have to follow me if you want to know where I'm gonna land. You're gonna have to follow me and see, okay? Because it's gonna be in my stories. You're gonna have to follow me and see, right? In my stories, if you're on Facebook, and in my shorts, if it's YouTube, or on TikTok, or wherever those little daily clips like that can live. But my point is, my vision to travel the world elevated. Even because I didn't travel as a kid. I didn't. Now I grew up pretty I grew up pretty fortunate in terms of how I lived and things like that, but we just didn't travel. We just didn't. And that was always something that was gnawing at me, that was on me, I wanted to travel. I wanted to see the world, you know? I mean, I didn't go to Disney World till I was 37 years old, and I treated myself for my birthday. I literally treated myself for my 37th birthday. I treated myself to Disney World, and I rented a Mustang convertible. I was living alive. Why? I was going through a divorce. I think I was going through the divorce thing. Yeah, I was. I was. So elevate your vision. Second thing you want to elevate is your actions. Because what's the point of having an elevated vision if you don't take any action? Your vision, your dreams, your goals, your desires, your aspirations require some level of action. Remember, I just said that the first trip I went on, I mean, we didn't even travel to the United States, let alone talk about seeing the country. And the first trip I treated myself to was to Disney World. Disney World. It wasn't out the country. It wasn't anything exotic, or it was Disney World. Okay. When it came to me living my vision for traveling, that was the first place I treated myself to. Now, I had gone to other places, but it was always in connection with, who my husband actually at the time. It was always connected to that, because we traveled he was, he's a pastor. We traveled, things like that. I had gone to Niagara Falls and all those things, but for me and my vision, the first place to was Disney World, right? So you have to elevate your action. You got to take action, okay? You got to choose actions and tasks that are in line with the vision. You got to take action, do tasks in line with the vision. So what daily actions are you taking that match your goals, your aspirations, and your vision? If you are not taking actions that match or line up with your vision, you need to reevaluate what you are doing day to day. At least 1 to 2, maybe more, maybe 3 of your actions each day line up with your long-term goals, with your big vision. Right? So maybe instead of scrolling social media for an hour, you cut that down to 15 minutes and you can find 45 minutes to work on the vision and take action. What does that action look like? You can even use Chatty Cathy. I call ChatGPT Chatty Cathy. You can even use Chatty Cathy to help you. And there are prompts that you can use in order to do that. And this is I'm gonna give it to you loosely because it's off the top of my head, but you can use a prompt that says, hey, this is a vision I have for my life, that I want to see happen, let's say, I'm not even gonna go 5 years, let's say 12 months from now. I could go 4, but I won't. Let's say 12 months from now. This is a vision that I have, that I see for my life, or 2 years from now, or 18 months from now. Take one of those goals, one of those aspirations, right? And say, let's say in 12 months, I want to, see this happen in my life, or I want this to take place in my life. Ask ChatGPT or Chatty Cathy, what do I need to do on a daily basis in order to make this dream a reality? It's going to tell you. Then you're going to take that and you're going to put it in your calendar and you're going to implement, because then now you're going to be taking intentional action that's aligned with your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, your desires, and your elevated vision. I'm telling you, AI is not the entire worst thing in the world. It's a little suspect in some areas, but it's not the worst thing in the world. You can use these types of things to your advantage. Okay. All right. So also, this is the last thing I want to say is, now that once you have this map, this roadmap for what you should be working on day by day, and you can make it very granular. You could take it down to the tasks. I mean, you can really, my brain is moving quicker than my mouth. I promise you. Because as I'm talking about things, I'm getting thoughts. I'm like, oh yeah, I can show people how to do this. I can show them how to do this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, because I've been using Chatty Cathy. That's what I call ChatGPT. I've been using Chatty Cathy since it was available. And I've learned how to create some really, really good prompts. Some I've learned for other people, and I've adapted for my own environment. One day I'll show people how to do it. But I was saying, you are creating this plan for your vision, for your elevated vision, in a way that it keeps you from getting weary. It'll help you not become so weary. Okay? All right? Because you're aligned, you're intentional, and you're trusting God to sustain your strength. Okay? You're trusting Him to sustain your strength. You're leaning on Him. And the third and the last thing that you want to elevate, and I know if you have an idea of what I'm going to say, I want you to put it in the comments right now. Because if you've been listening or following me for the past probably 3 months, I've been talking about it and talking about it and talking about it and talking about it, and I'm going to keep talking about it because it's such a foundational, fundamental part of building your personal brand, and that is you got to elevate your belief in yourself. You got to elevate your belief in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, there are going to be very few people that will believe in you. There are going to be very few people that believe in you. Yes, there will be some. There will be some people like me who will hold the space of believing in you, that you are going to live the life that you dream of, that you talk about, that you write about, that you journal about, that you pray about. Yeah, I hold that belief for you. I hold the belief that you will do and be and have everything you ask and desire. And that at some point in your life, you are going to wake up, you're going to elevate your vision, you're going to elevate your action, and you're going to believe wholeheartedly that you are that girl. That you are that girl. That you are the one that people have been waiting for. And you got to elevate that belief in yourself. And how does that happen? That happens by addressing your doubts, your self-doubts, your limiting beliefs about who you are and you know, kind of what your past has been and all of those things. But you've got to see yourself. God sees you, that you are capable, that you are chosen, that you are fully equipped, that you've been called for such a time as this, that you are in the world for a purpose, for a reason. And this is your season. Bars. Is that what they say? Bars. You are in the world for a reason in this season. This is your season. It's your season to elevate. It's your season to rise to the opportunity. It's your time. Especially if you are what? Especially if you are a midlife, multi-gifted, multi-talented, multifaceted, multi-passionate woman. Especially if that's you. It's your time. It's your season. This is your season for you to step in and live the life that you've been talking about, you've been wanting for the last 30 years. This is your time. So in terms of elevating your belief, I got lots of content around that. I'm halfway through my 31 days of believing in yourself. Apparently it wasn't 31 days, 31 consecutive days. I'm halfway through 31 days of believing in yourself. So you can go and you can see those videos. If you need some help with believing in yourself, I touch on limiting belief and self-confidence and all the different things. All right. All right. What do we talk about? What did we talk about? We talked about 3 ways that you want to elevate. You want to elevate what? Your vision, your actions, and your belief in yourself. You want to elevate those 3 things. You want to begin to be intentional on a daily basis where your focus is going. We've been very distracted. We've been very distracted. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to take a break, take a break. But maybe that rest in that break is really more about you focusing on what you can control. Maybe that rest and that focus is more about focusing and resting in what you can control. Maybe the distraction is from you being able to live your dream, your purpose that's not connected to anybody in any political position anywhere in this country. Maybe it's time for you to put your blinders on and go, this is what I'm called to. This is the vision. This is where my focus is going, because where your focus goes, that's where your power goes. That's where your action goes. That's where everything flows into. When you are focused on the vision, then the vision can become a reality. Maybe, and I wrote this somewhere and I can't remember where I wrote it, maybe the word of moving forward isn't really as much about a political slogan, but maybe it's a prophetic word for you. Maybe it's time for you to move forward. Maybe it's time for you to stop spinning your wheels. Maybe it's time for you to stop being stuck in what you can't do and what you don't believe about yourself and what you've been called to. I know my camera is moving because my little stand here is shaking because I'm shaking my desk. But maybe that moving forward is for you and your vision and for what you've been called to do in the world. So instead of you worrying about it being political, maybe it's prophetic for you. Anything that happens and goes that goes on, I always look, what does that mean for me? So it's time for you to move forward. And because it's time for you to move forward, it's time for you to elevate. It's time for you to elevate your vision. It's time for you to elevate your action. It's time for you to elevate your belief in yourself so you can what? Move forward. Baby, we just getting started. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. Because it's your time. This is the season for you to rise to the opportunity, to rise to that which you have been called to. And you have been called for such a time as this. It's time to rise. It's time to elevate. It's time to move forward. It's time for you to be, to do, and to walk in that which you've been called to. Why? We're gonna take it all the way back. We're gonna take it all the way back. So you can rise like an eagle, so you can soar like the eagle. So you can run and not get weary. So you can walk and not faint. Because the air is clearer. Your vision is clearer when you elevate. All right, that's what I have for you. Man, I'm so excited about this. I hope you save this, share this, keep it on repeat, fast forward to the sections you need to go to, take notes, rewatch it, do whatever you need to do to get this into you, because it's this kind of word that's going to get into you, that's going to help sustain you over the coming weeks, the coming days, the coming months, the coming years. Okay? You're gonna have to come back to this, because you're going to need this for the days that you feel weary and you're ready to throw in the towel and give up. On the days where you feel a little frazzled and unfocused, you're going to need to remember. You're going to need to remember who and whose you are. And on that note, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. I know, honey, because I wasn't just talking to you. I was talking to me too. I'm going to have to go back and watch this myself. All right. So I'm going to be in the comments. I'm going to be in the comments Trust and believe I'm going to be in the comments. So let me know in the comments your thoughts, your reactions, your comments, how you're feeling about what's being said, what you're committing to for your own vision, for your own dreams. What is you going to do? In the meantime, I invite you to join the Bold Icons community. Come inside that community. We are getting things ramped up. I have been preparing for this trip out of the country. Once I get back from this trip, pardon me, out of the country, well, they say it's going to be on and popping. Thank you so much if you join me live. Well, live-ish. This is a pre-record. So thank you if you joined the live premiere. Thank you for you joining, watching the replay. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to serve you in this capacity. Until next time, make sure you go to the Bold Icons community and join. The link should be in the comments for you to join that community. And I'll see you for our third session under the Iconic Upgrade is going to be in December. I can't remember the date off the top of my head. I think it's no, I don't know what day it is. I think it's the 11th. I think it's the 11th. It's Amplify. It's Amplify. Session 1 was Release. Session 2, Elevate. And Session 3 will be Amplify. And I can't wait for us to talk about it. I'll see you next time.